Thomas's Wooden Railway Adventures, Episode 10, Replacements. It was a bright and sunny morning on the island of Sodor. The engines were wondering what jobs would await them for the day, when the Fat Controller walked over to tell them what they would be up to. Good morning, engines. So, today is quite an interesting day. Gordon, I've got a special job for you. You are taking a special express train to London Euston. Oh, the dignity. Why can't it be London's King's Cross? Because, Gordon, the Flying Scotsman is taking a train to King's Cross. Deal with it. Oh. Once you have arrived at Euston, you will be stabled at King's Cross Sheds. Oh, well, that's better, I suppose. Indeed it is. Anyway, for the rest of you, Edward, you'll be working at the docks with Emily. Percy and Thomas work on the Farquhar branch. James, you're pulling the express. Oh boy, finally, a proper job for a splendid red engine like me. And Henry, you'll be taking the heavy goods trains up and down the line. Oh yeah, Thomas. After that, I want you to meet a new engine at the docks as well. Of course, sir. Anything. And with that, the Fat Controller walked away. Ooh, a special express. A proper job for a proper engine. All the engines were beginning to get very jealous of Gordon. Gordon was preparing to take his special express out at Knapford. Thomas was about to set out this branch line run and wished Gordon good luck. Gordon thanked him as Daniel shunted the coaches into the platform. You're quite lucky to be pulling these, you know, Gordon. I haven't seen a coach like this in a long time, said Daniel as he puffed away to sort out more coaches. The guard blew his whistle and Thomas set off. Best of luck, Gordon. Thank you, Thomas. You too. Then Gordon backed onto the coaches and was ready to depart. The guard blew his whistle and Gordon was on his way. Gordon raced along the main line at frightening speeds, trying his best to be on time to London. Hurry, 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 he said. We're going to town, sang the coaches. Gordon arrived into London bang on time. Gordon was then greeted by a very familiar face backing down onto his passenger train. Hello, brother. It's been quite some time. Indeed it has, Scotsman. It's lovely to see you again. What are you doing nowadays, then? You know, just pulling rail tours up and down the line. I recently visited a little heritage railway in the south of England called the Mid-Hants Railway. Quite a lovely railway, you know. I've never been there before, but Thomas tells me it's quite nice as well when he does his events all over the country. Indeed, brother. Just then, a guard's whistle was blown, and the Flying Scotsman had to set off. Well, I'll see you later, brother. Flying Scotsman, coming through! That's where I got that catchphrase from then, said Gordon. Meanwhile, at Brendam Docks, Thomas searched around for the new engine. I wonder who it could be. Looking for someone, said a voice. What? Who said that? Just then, a small tank engine, almost identical to Thomas, puffed alongside him. Timothy? Is that you? Indeed, Thomas. It's brilliant to be back. I haven't been here for ages. So tell me, what's new? I can't believe you're actually here, Timothy. It's been so long. Indeed it has, Thomas. Anyway, I'm sure we should get to work. According to the Fat Controller, I've been brought here as a new station pilot and to take suburban passengers. And to work on the Kirk Ronan branch, too. The Kirk Ronan branch? Wasn't that your old home when you first came here? Indeed it was, Thomas. Although, I wonder how much it's changed, because, as you know, I haven't been here for ages. Honestly, it is brilliant to be back, though. Indeed, and it's lovely to have you back, Timothy. So where will you be kept on the island? Well, It depends what I'm doing, really. I'll often be stationed at Kirk Ronan, but every now and then I'll be based somewhere else if I'm taking different trains up and down the line. I see you've already been painted into northwestern colours. Indeed, Timothy puffed so Thomas could have a closer look. Wow, said Thomas. I see you kept your grey livery. Indeed, I like being grey. I know it's a dull colour, but still, it suits me. Indeed, said Thomas. Well, I'm sure we have lots of work to do, so I suppose we should get to it. Sounds about right to me, Thomas, said Timothy. And the two E2s puffed away to do some shunting together. That evening, Gordon still hadn't returned from pulling the express. All the engines were beginning to get worried and started throwing around theories. What if he had an accident, said Thomas. Maybe he's just running late, said Edward. It happens, London railways are useless. He's probably just stuck, waiting for a signal. It's a good theory, said Thomas, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough, said Henry. But in the meantime, we should just hope that he is all right if he has had an accident. Well, yes, but we shouldn't always prepare for the worst, said Edward. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, said Thomas, because I think he may have actually had an accident, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Fair enough, said Percy. But in the meantime, let's just, wait, I guess. Wait for news. Just then, an LNER whistle could be heard out, and the Flying Scotsman backed down into the sheds. Hello, everybody. It's brilliant to be back, said the Flying Scotsman. Scotsman? What are you doing here? Said Percy. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm here to replace Gordon whilst he's out the works. The works? I was right, see, he has had an accident. Indeed, Thomas, but it's a bit embarrassing. He wasn't focusing properly. He was boasting to himself. And he fell off the turntable. Did he really? He fell off the turntable, said Thomas. Oh, this is too rich. I can't wait to brag about this. Well, yeah, surely it should be Oliver bragging about it since he fell in the turntable, a few years ago. That is true, said Thomas. Anyway, it's brilliant to have you here, Scotsman. So I'm guessing you'll be pulling the express trains. I most certainly will. But I don't think I should be here because, famous engines attract trespassers and I don't want that to happen to your fine railway. Well, that's true, but I'm sure security will take care of it. So don't you worry, Scotsman. That's fair enough. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to working with you all. Us as well, Scotsman, said all the engines. Us as well. Meanwhile, at the diesel works, the Fat Controller had been over to address the diesels. Good evening, diesel engines. As some of you know, D199 has been sent to Railgate for sabotaging Alfred. And I'm sure since there are only two mainline diesels stationed on Sodor, that you both won't be able to keep up with the trains. Well, yes, sir, that's correct, said Derek. Indeed, I'm finding it difficult as it is to keep up with the express trains since I am a warship and that's what I was meant to do. But still, keeping up the maintenance trains too is very difficult. As it is keeping up with the heavy goods trains, said Derek. Exactly, said the Fat Controller. That's why I've bought in a new diesel loco to help you. He should be arriving any second now. Just then, the humming of a diesel motor could be heard, and a British Rail Class 40 diesel rolled into the sheds. Engines, I would like you to meet Vulcan. He is here to help out. Nice to meet you all, said Vulcan. Quite a fine shed, I will admit, but I have seen better. Right, well, I'll leave you all to it. Nice to meet you, Vulcan, said Diesel 10. My name's Diesel 10. This here on my roof is Pinchy. This is Derek. And the little box cab is Philip. And the Class 08 shunter is Diesel. Ah, pleasure to meet you all. So, I'm helping out with the express trains today. Well, yes, that's what you've been brought in for, said Derek. Indeed, it'd be nice to have some help around here, so we greatly appreciate it, Vulcan. So, you don't look much like a Class 40 to me. Oh, that's because I've had some modifications, said Vulcan. I see, said Dieselton. Anyway, it's a pleasure to have you here, Vulcan. Indeed, said Derek. Pleasure to meet you. It's very nice to have you here, said Philip. Well, you'll do, said Diesel. It had been a very eventful day on Sodor. A very eventful day indeed.